Hi, I'm David Geiger. I'm an arms and armor specialist here at Morphy Auctions. I'm fourth generation in the auction business and have been interested in these things all my life. I've been in the auction world for about 8 years now.
Hi, I'm James Kochan. I'm a Arms and Americana specialist, also with the early Arms and Militaria department. And I started off in the museum field 30 some years ago. Worked in that for 16 years, and I've been in the antique world for the past 22, and I'm a new arrival at Morphy's as of this past January.
Between the two of us, Jim and I have 75 years of combined experience dealing particularly in this early material. I've always been interested in it, and Jim has had an extensive background with museums, auction houses, and buying and selling privately as well as collecting. And I have had an extensive background working for auction houses and collecting and also dealing privately as well.
Right, and it's really, it's not a job, it's totally an avocation and a labor of love for us.
These sales that Jim and I are doing are sales revolving around early arms, Americana, documents, paintings, and related items. It's very hard because they're all encompassing of, anywhere ranging from the French and Indian War to the Mexican War. And we have a variety of arms and powder horns and paintings and important documents in these sales. Well, no one else does this. No other company that I'm aware of has a department specifically that puts together 2 sales a year of early arms and militaria. We have our own catalogs, hardcover catalogs for these sales, and we have specialists, Jim and I, for these items in particular. And because of this, we have realized incredible prices and very good results in our past sales.
It's really all about history. It's connecting objects with history, and I think that's what sets Morphy's and the auctions that David and I are doing with early arms and military apart from what anyone else is doing in the world. Every now and then another auction house, some of the big ones, put together special thematic sales for bicentennial events like the Battle of Trafalgar or Waterloo and things, but we are consistently putting together sales twice a year of items from colonial and early American, early Republic, colonial through revolutionary through the early Republic history, all pre-Civil War, all flintlock era, primarily focused on North America, but we're also dealing with West Indies and South American materials, and of course European in addition. So this is what's so exciting about our sales is we're excited. Every piece we offer here is museum quality essentially, and so even if you're just starting out, you can acquire some very fine pieces. There's things for beginning collectors, museums, and very advanced collectors. There's something for everyone.
We've set some world records. We sold the Bunker Hill musket for almost $500,000. We sold a powder horn inscribed Bunker Hill, and that's brought $209,000. And we have also sold a tomahawk, the Butler tomahawk, for over $600,000, and another tomahawk for about $150,000. So these are very good results, and the market for these items is very strong and is ever increasing over the time that I've been working on these sales.
Well, I would say for this genre of material, the Walter O'Connor sale certainly stands out, because Walt O'Connor, as David mentioned, had this incredible collection of horns, but he also collected manuscripts of the Revolutionary War era and the French and Indian War, and had some truly superlative examples. And one that comes to mind is the original map of the New York, Bennington, upstate New York area that was created by Francis Pfister, who was a British officer in the French and Indian War and a loyalist in the Revolution, and it was on his body when he was mortally wounded at the Battle of Bennington. And that map, which sold in this room for nearly $100,000, now is in the Library of Congress collection.
We have, here's a very good British pattern 1756 heavy dragoon pistol, and it is dated 1759 and made by Richard Edge. We also have a very good and very rare 1733 French cavalry pistol, and these were used over here, and they're also extremely scarce, especially one in this condition. We have good powder horns, 1758 professionally engraved New York map horn, as well as an earlier 1759 powder horn of John Call with a poem on it. And we also have things in the way of Kentucky rifles. We have a very early American Geiger here that is relief carved and just a very scarce and early thing believed to be made in the Christian Springs area.
This commission is an extremely important Revolutionary War commission. It's signed by John Hancock, the President of the Continental Congress, and it has what we like to call the Declaration of Independence signature, the very large, distinctive, large flourish signature. It's very strong, which is what collectors are very concerned about. And this is a very interesting discovery. So this piece was consigned to us. It's of an early U.S. naval officer by the name of James Gibbon. I recognized the artist almost immediately as Cephas Thompson, who was a Massachusetts-born artist who had moved down south for a more lucrative client base. And he was working in Richmond, Virginia, Norfolk, Virginia, and Alexandria during the period 1809 through 11. And his account book for his Virginia period survives. And lo and behold, in his account book, there is entered just a simple J. Gibbon, painted in Richmond. So we know the artist, we confirmed it from his account book, so stylistically I was able to recognize it, the sizes, the type he works in, but we know exactly when and where it was painted. So this is a very important piece of both naval art and southern art for the sale.
We want to educate new buyers as well as collectors about the time period that we are focusing on, as well as the items. We do very detailed descriptions, unlike anyone else. We do a history about the piece and any relevant history. We describe the item in great detail, and we do very detailed, lengthy condition reports describing exactly what's been done to the thing, if anything, and also we follow up again with the provenance.
Right. When you're buying most of these pieces that you'll see on this table, when you acquire the piece, you also usually will acquire a fat file of documentation that accompanies the piece. So it's not hearsay. If we state that it's the school of so-and-so, or this painting was by so-and-so, we stand behind what we're saying, because we are very concerned about proper documentation and authentication.
My email is david.geiger@morphyauctions.com, and Jim is james.kochan@morphyauctions.com. We realize incredible prices for these things, unlike any other company, because they're well described, because they're well promoted, and because no one else does something like this, where we have a particular sale dedicated to this type of material with a hardcover catalog and good descriptions. So please, if you have anything, we would love to talk to you about it. Arms, documents, paintings, powder horns, please let us know.
And I should note now that beginning with our last sale, our sales now on the Morphy's platform are live streamed. So even if you're not at the auction live and you're bidding online or on the telephone but watching on your computer, you get a very good sense of what's really going on in the room at our sales.
Thank you for participating, thank you for watching, and thank you for consigning.